Hey guys, Scott from scottsweb.dev here. Today I'm going to show you how to migrate your WordPress site manually to new hosting or a new server. A lot of hosting companies will have a one-click migration. Take advantage of that if you can. If you need to do it manually or want to do it manually, that's what this video is for. I often prefer to do it manually just because I know everything that's going on. I have complete control over it, and I'm not at the whims of a one-click installation. So yeah, I actually don't have new hosting to move my site to for this example, so I'm just going to move it to a subfolder within my current hosting. It'll be the same process, so you can follow along here. I'm also doing this live, so there may be some things pop up. Every migration is sort of like has its own unique challenges, so some things might pop up that I wasn't prepared for. Also, I'm using Hostinger for hosting. I really recommend them. They're fast and cheap and good, but every hosting company is not the same, so the functions I'm using might be in slightly different places than your hosting company, but the process is generally the same. So just find what I'm using inside of your hosting. I'm not using anything exotic that you won't be able to find. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is to actually get your website files onto your new hosting. And how you're going to do that is with FTP. I use FileZilla on Windows. It's this program right here. You'll log into your old hosting or your current hosting. Download your entire website to your computer. If you're running your website locally, that's great. You already completed step one. You have your code base on your computer. But if you haven't, go ahead and download the entire public HTML or root folder to your computer. Step two would then be to upload it to your new hosting. So you would connect to your new hosting, select the site from your computer, and upload it there into your public HTML folder. I'm going to be moving my site into this folder here called New Hosting, so I can access my site through scottsweb.dev/new hosting. As you can see, I've already uploaded my complete site here. And I did that because WordPress has a lot of files. I didn't want to sit here or pause and stop the video while it downloaded and then uploaded again. So I've already completed step one and step two. If you need to do that, go ahead and do that and then come back. If you're already at that point, we can go ahead and continue. So now that we have our files on our new remote hosting or our new server, we can visit our website in its new URL. So I'll go to my domain/new hosting, and you'll see it'll say error establishing a database connection. And that's because we have the files, but we're not connected to our data source. So that's the next thing we need to do, is get it connected. Inside your hosting, you'll find somewhere to create a new database. So here I'll go to management, and I'll create a new MySQL database and user. So we'll create a name here. We'll call this new DB. We'll call this Scott2, and I'll make this an easy password because I'm going to delete this when we're done. 1, 2, 3. And show it here. We do want to write this information down because we're going to need it later. So I'll open a notepad file. DB name U205328978 DB. DB user is this Scott2, and DB pass is this. Alright, go ahead and create your new database. On some hosting, you will have to create a new user and then add that user to that database with all privileges. Usually there's a wizard that's very helpful, so you can do that easily. Here it went ahead and added my user and database at the same time. So I now have a user for that database. And what we need to do now is go ahead and enter your old database, phpMyAdmin. So you'll go to your current or old hosting and go to their phpMyAdmin. And the reason that we do this is we need to export our database so that we can use it on our new server. So once you open phpMyAdmin, you'll go ahead and click this export button. The default settings are okay, so click export. It's going to download the database to your computer. I have it right here in my downloads folder. And we're done with this. We can close this phpMyAdmin. Now we'll want to go to phpMyAdmin for the new hosting. So open up your new server's hosting panel and go to phpMyAdmin for the new database you just created. Once we're in there, we're going to want to click on the Import tab, and we're going to import the database that we just exported. So you'll go to Choose File here, select your database, and then click Import. If you have a really large database, this may take a while. There are some instances where the database is too large to import through phpMyAdmin. If that's the case, you'll want to do it through SSH and command line MySQL. You can look up how to import large database MySQL command line, and you should find steps there on how to do it. So you see here it says import has successfully finished. Now we have our current/old database on our new hosting. We need to connect our new hosting's WordPress to this new database. So if you open up your FTP program and find your new WP config file, you can go to View Edit, and I'm just going to edit this directly here in Notepad. You scroll down, you'll see there's fields for DB name, DB user, DB password. We'll want to fill in this information with the information that we created when we created a new database on our new hosting. And that's why we wanted to write it down here. I think I called that new DB. Let's see here. Yeah, I did. Okay, so this is our new information. Let me copy that over into WP config. I did DB name, DB user. Now I need DB password. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to File, Save. When we do that, the FTP program wants to upload the new file, so I'll click Yes. You can also go ahead and change this on your computer using your code editor and then re-upload it. It's the same thing. So we have our new database connected. Before we visit the site again, we'll want to go back to phpMyAdmin and go to the new database and click into the WP options table. We want to edit these first two rows, the site URL and home. They will have the values from our old site. We want to put our new site URL here. So we'll click these first two boxes and go to edit, and then we'll change this to our new URL, both of them. And then we'll click go at the bottom. So now we've updated our new database with the new URL. We can go ahead and refresh our new page. If everything goes right, it should be connected to our new database. It looks like it did go right, so that's awesome. However, we're not done yet. So there will be links to your old site all throughout your new site now. And what we need to do is we need to replace every instance of your old URL in your website with your new URL. And I like to do that with a plugin. So if we log into our new admin, okay, we'll go ahead and log into our backend by visiting our new URL /wp admin. Once we're there, we'll go ahead and log in. Go to plugins. We're going to want to install a plugin called Better Search Replace. And this is one of the easiest plugins I found for just replacing text with different text. So we'll go ahead and install this here. Install now, activate. And I actually had a problem with this when trying to do a previous video because Hostinger had limited my query size, so I wasn't able to run it. Hopefully you're able to run it, or I can run it in chunks here. So go to Tools, Better Search Replace. What you're going to search for is your old domain and replace it with your new domain. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and select one table here. See if it, you want to select all of these tables, but because it gave me problems, I just selected one table to try it. So we will want to check these first two boxes and uncheck this one and click Run Search Replace. Okay, it let me do it. I may have to do it just a few tables at a time here, so it will let me do it. Kind of a boring way, but if it lets me do it, that works. We'll do our last tables here. Cool. So I have now searched and replaced for my old domain and replaced it with my new domain. So now if I view my website, every link in here will be replaced with my new link. So as you see, like if I copy this link address, if I paste it here, it will be the new URL. You may have to go in and activate plugins again. They will be configured, but sometimes they're not activated. So once you hit activate, all of those plugins will kick back in. Mine were already all activated, except for this one, which I disabled for the purpose of this video. Another thing you might experience is if you go to upload an image that it won't show up here. If that's the case, you'll go to your new hosting and you'll go to WP content and then right click this uploads folder, click file permissions and give it 755 permissions, which would be that. Click OK. That should then let you upload images and media. If it doesn't, you may have to SSH into your hosting and change the ownership of the uploads folder to be your web server that runs WordPress, the same user and group. And that should just about be it. This is how you manually migrate your WordPress site from old hosting to new hosting. The biggest challenge is just taking the time to download and upload the files and then creating a new database and exporting your old one and importing it into the new server, and then making sure your content points to your new URL by doing the search replace, and then making sure your media folder is working. And again, if your images aren't showing up, which seems to be a common problem, it's most likely a permissions issue. Check the permissions on your upload folder. If there's anything else I left out here or anything you're having problems with, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to help. Lots more how-to videos coming up on my channel here for scottsweb.dev. So stick around. We'll see you in the next ones. If you liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel. I'm just getting started and could use some more subscribers. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I hope you have good progress getting your site migrated. Bye.